Well, good day and welcome to Inside the African Community. On this program, we shine a spotlight on the positive and challenges within the African community. I'm Steve Valier, and my guest today is Mr. Yarson Pewee, Chairman of the Liberian community of South Australia. Welcome, Mr. Pewee.
Thank you, Steve.
It's good to have you on.
Thank you.
And I must admit that you are our first guest on this program, and we hope to have a piece of you again in future. Yeah, to start with, can you tell us a little bit about yourself when you came to Australia, with family and other things?
Well, it is a great thing being in your studio today.
Thank you.
In time to time, I have been commending the director for the Liberian movie industry.
Yeah.
You know, the name is inclusive.
Yeah.
It's something that we cannot distance ourselves from.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful for the progress that I have seen over the years.
Yeah, thank you.
So I'd like to commend you heartily. And it is a pleasure being in your studio.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, actually, about myself, I came here since 2003. I've been here.
Okay.
I came alone.
Okay.
Yeah. And here, I made myself a family.
Yeah, okay.
So I met my wife here. We have one kid.
Okay.
And I have been through a lot of things to be who that I am today.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't know precisely what are the informations you need from me.
Because just as a leader, just people want to know about a little bit. Maybe qualification, what else do you do? And so just a background in it.
Okay. Yeah, well, I came here and I've been doing some studies.
Okay, yeah.
I first enrolled at TAFE because the documents that I came on was a French document. I went to the Guinean University and a bachelor there in managerial accounting.
Okay, yeah.
But Guinea is not a Commonwealth nation.
Yeah,
it's a French-speaking country. So when I came here, I had to do everything from scratch. So I went to TAFE, did a double advanced diploma in finance and taxation.
Okay, yeah.
And then from there, I decided to move on to the University of South Australia. And so where I did a double degree program in applied finance and commerce.
Yeah.
And after that, I decided to enroll at another institution because I have the passion for learning.
Yeah, and that's good as a leader. Yeah.
So I enrolled at Curtin University of Technology.
Okay.
Just recently. Completed the Masters of Taxation Law.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, thank you for that. Congrats.
And now doing a second Masters in Applied Finance from Remit University.
Okay.
So I have the passion for working in the revenue sector to accumulate wealth.
Yeah.
And I want to work for any revenue authority or an Australian taxation office. Well, if I have the opportunity to work overseas, and I'm more than happy to do so. But I believe that the learning cycle never ends.
Never
and I have the passion for learning. So as long as there is life, I will continue to learn.
Yeah, because there's no age limit, to learning. There's no age limit.
And presently I work as a distribution clerk.
Okay.
So mainly doing dispatching. Something I have to do with logistics and managerial accounting.
Okay. Yeah. That's
something I'm doing now.
That's good. I'm so very much impressed by your qualification and just your history and determination. But coming from Guinea and with your qualification, right? Like, how difficult was it, or what's the motivation behind you being so hungry to learn more?
Well, my motivation stems from many sources.
Yeah. Okay.
One, where I am from. What I have been through, looking at our country, and looking at my country of birth, being devastated by 2 different civil wars, accumulating up to 14 years, and I have seen that the educational system, the educational sector have been shattered.
Yeah, for you.
And so we are going to lack many experts when it comes to revenue or financial sector, even the health sectors. So we need people that will replace these people.
Yes.
And apart from that, I tried to do some research because I was very little when I left Liberia. So I saw in time to time that the revenue sector was not independent of the Ministry of Finance. And so revenue sector alone being independent can generate a whole lot of revenue for the country. So there are a whole lot of things, a whole lot of deficiencies that I've seen in the revenue area in Liberia. And I feel that I can accumulate knowledge here, I can acquire here. Then when I get back, by the grace of God, I can be a part of the solution. And that's why we dream for Liberia. We have many experts that will help that country to rebuild, to come out successfully from what we have experienced over the years.
Okay, I think with the expertise and the effort and determination, we hope that you achieve what you want with Liberia, and that's going to be of great help to us as Liberians and Australians. So like if we like now our chairperson of the Liberian community, what is it like of being a chairperson? What are some common challenges you face, or what do you have to do as a chairperson? What is it? Because some people don't know the effort it takes.
Well, being a chairperson embodies a whole lot of things. My concern is how well I can oversee the affairs of the Liberian community. The community is emerging, so we need to make the community our business, to push the community in a more positive direction. And I see our generation here being the first Liberian generation here. We need to set a benchmark. We need to pave the way for our kids. And so that's why I decided to come into community leadership. And you see, I believe that I owe Liberia a whole lot. If I was back home, I would have paid my quota in a more responsible way, and even more than what I'm doing now. But due to the outbreak of the Liberian Civil Conflict, imagine I was 6 when I left Liberia. And since then, I haven't been there. I live in Guinea, where I got UNHCR scholarship. I went to Guinean University, and I was forced to offer national service in Guinea. 3 months, I went to La Caisse Nationale without a pay. Country, I appreciate what they did for me. So I didn't feel bad at all offering national service to them, but I feel bad that I did not have the opportunity to offer that service to Liberia. So anybody cooperate that represent Liberia here remains my business. And so I am more than happy to volunteer my service to the Liberian community, to put the community in a positive direction with the help of every Liberian, not only me.
That's a good point, and that's a really good thing of being.
That's why it gave me the courage to get involved into community leadership. In fact, going into community politics.
That's a good thing. Like I said, it's positive, giving your best in every way possible. But like, let me just go back to you living Liberia at the age of 6, and we it's common that we see people having identity problem in terms of leaving your country at the age of 6 and still feeling and having that connection with your country, despite the fact that you have lived in other countries and learn and devoted, your time to the cause of nationality or citizenship. But what stood up to you about Liberia that made you to say, no matter what, I left Liberia as a kid, but I still love my country and I have a role to play?
Well, good. That's a great question. But you see, there are individual differences. And I can foresee the point from which you are speaking. How to be some other kids outside of Liberia.
It's common, right?
Their perception for Liberia is completely different. But for me, I know where I came from, and I have the love for Liberia. And no matter what, there is nowhere like home. I have the opportunity to acquire Australian citizenship. Australia has everything. Australia has the best to offer to any individual. But I believe that I came from somewhere. And so that love, that sentimental attachment, I have it for Liberia. My mom is a Liberian, my dad is a Liberian. So I believe that I have to give back to where I came from.
So because is this something that you, I'm not trying to say that Liberians are not doing it, Liberians are not connected to their country, but is this something that you think we can improve on, have more of a relationship of feeling and sense of connection and giving back to our country? Is this something you feel that we can improve on and make better?
This is something I think that we have to continue to canvas for. We need to send a message across clearly to every Liberian, even Liberian youth coming up, that no matter what, we came from somewhere. So it is good to give back to where we have come from.
Okay, yeah. And as a community leader, yeah, you just mentioned youth. What is it like with the youth in terms of relationship wise, in terms of direction? What do you think? Like, is there an opinion or view of that?
Well, for now, I think I will commend the youth department because I think they are one of the most amazing groups of people that I have dealt with since I assumed the leadership of this community. And now, lately, I can see that level of responsibility growing in our youth.
Okay, and that's good, right?
And that is something that I would want to hold on to. And I would like to work more with the youth and the women, because I believe that if you empower the youth, then you are setting a good precedent for the Liberian community. And if we having to give them the opportunity to grow in leadership and love for their community, then we are not going to lack leaders.
Okay, that's fine. That's a good one. Yeah.
We are not going to lack leaders, provided we maintain that trend. And so that's why I've been looking up to the youth. I've been encouraging, I've been working with them. I have been undertaking projects with them, just to keep them to be focused and know that the future of this community lies in their hands. And hence the Republic of Liberia.
That's a brilliant point. And like just as a leader, right, before we go to the issue of Ebola, because it has been like a hot topic, and Liberia being one of the country heavily affected by the disease. As someone who is motivated about education, doing your second master, which of course is something like for a young man like you, it's not just common,
Sure.
We are doing it, but it's not just common. I'm not trying to overlook people's effort, but like, which direction do you want to head your community? Like, do you feel like education is important for us to achieve? Like, which direction actually?
Yeah, I think the key to everything is education. A solid educational background is a matter of must.
Okay.
And so that's why I will continue to encourage every Liberian, the kids, the younger ones, to go to school. Because that is the only way we can secure our position in this community. Australia is a society where if you are illiterate, you will not find your way out. So we have the utmost responsibility to make our children to pursue education so that they can gain that significance here in the Australian society. And once we try our best to gain that, then we will be able to offer helping hands back.
Okay.
Take for example, you can have a Liberian kid who was born here, just having to be a male high school graduate, and you try to take that person back home.
No, actually.
What sort of
academic use?
What sort of impact you taking that person
not really.
on youth that are there who do not have the opportunity to acquire?
Okay.
So here, education is almost like free. So let us encourage our kids to go to school. So I know there are multiple opportunities. People can even drop out from high school, go to factories and work, or do other jobs. But for how long?
For how long? What sort of leadership can you offer the community tomorrow? Not just the community, but the society as a whole.
Society. That's what matters.
So like as someone like who is the chairperson of the Liberian community, can we go back to Ebola? What was it like emotionally or economically? Just everything that Ebola the virus brought upon us. From your point of view, what did you do as a leader, or what did the community do, and how did it happen in terms of effort? What was it like?
Well, the Ebola virus disease outbreak in West Africa devastated me so much, because you have a country that is still facing the agony of 14 years of civil conflict. Where we have had a reduced population, that's one thing, and people are trying to rebuild their lives, and then you have this
disease,
this pandemic coming to take away nearly 3,500 lives. So it was heartbreaking, it was devastating. But what we did in South Australia was to come around, rally around every Liberian, so that we can stand in solidarity with our brothers that are back home. So we petition state government, we tax ourselves, say yes, look, we are here. We are not directly affected by this this Ebola virus disease, but we have our relatives that depend on us for almost everything. However little support we are giving them, we want them to come out successfully. But having this disease taking away many lives, so we need to stand together and see how we can support our brothers back. We are not financially equipped, but we can rally around and do whatsoever we can do. So what we do, we tax Liberians so that we can gather some money together, buy some personal protective equipment that we can send back home for nurses who are at the forefront of this crisis. And then we petition our state government to also help us with PPEs and to send some medical experts, because we got countries like the US, Great Britain, France that have medical experts down that are working with local nurses. So we wanted Australia to play a more significant role. So we petitioned the government and we got a positive response. So there are Australian medical experts that are working in line with WHO and
that's
the
good.
nurses on the ground. So we received that response from the Premier.
That's
And
good.
that letter was even read in our last management meeting. And also Australia contributed $18 million
That's good. That's good.
from state leaders and federal leader petitions. $18 million were contributed to the World Health Organization to combat Ebola virus disease directly. And that is different from the $40 million that Australia contributes annually in the pool fund to the World Health Organization. So I think we rose the awareness. We went on an awareness march at the Parliament House where we presented our petition. So that was done across Australia. All states, all the other states did the same. And so that pushed state governments to talk to federal government, and that sum was pumped in there. And now we have seen that there have been a dramatic reduction in the number of Ebola viral disease cases. And we pray that way Liberia will be declared EVD free very soon, and likewise other West African countries that are being infected.
Some people are saying like although it's unreliable, that Liberia is declared free, for which they have the election and other things, but I don't know how true it is.
No, not to my knowledge. Liberia has not been declared free yet, because I think before the health minister will come out to declare it free, the country should not report any case for a period of 42 days. So Liberia has not been able to reach that 42 days yet, despite the large-scale reduction in the number. So the only country that will recently declare Ebola viral disease free is Mali. But we are hopeful that very soon Liberia will be free. We have seen a large reduction in the number of cases. Before in November, let's say October 2014, there were 500 cases that have been reported on a daily basis. But for the past 2 to 3 months, we haven't had more than 50 per week. So I think there have been a very good improvement. And we are grateful for that.
And grateful to the WHO, Australia, all of the donors.
And in fact, one of the Liberian nurses here, a Liberian girl who studied nursing, volunteered to go back home to fight with the WHO. She's there. And I really commend her. I feel so proud that somebody from my community went back to fight that disease. So it is something that my head is high up. And we are praying that she will come back safely.
That's good. That's really, it's incredible to hear, because I think some of the problems we have is when other people are volunteering for our own matters, because that's why we might not have a great amount of professional medical people, but I think we could still volunteer in some way. So having a Liberian medical student going down to help, I think it's just like extraordinary, because it's not something that happens. It doesn't happen often, so we gotta really appreciate that, and people gotta know that someone has done that. So like with Ebola, right? Like there was something that stood up to me about, which was how people came together. It was, I cannot say it was unprecedented, but it was something that wasn't just common in terms of the support from every state, from overseas countries where Liberians are. Like, do you see that as a trend, or was it something just special about Ebola that move everyone? In terms of the future, do you see that happening often, or?
I see that as a positive milestone.
Yeah.
Because if we Liberians can develop that perception that if Liberia is hit, it means that we are all hit.
Yeah.
Then we are fixing the problem that led to the devastation of our country.
Yes.
So that is one thing that I am really grateful for, that we have got to realize that out of many, we will all answer as one people, Liberians. And secondly, we all know that we have somewhere that we came from.
Yes.
And that is Liberia. So once we have that country at heart, then we are going to avoid the mistakes that our forefathers made. So by Liberians standing together, coming together as one people, and in fact, massive turnout, more than ever before, to say yes, we are in solidarity with our people back home.
It was very impressive.
It's a positive improvement, and I think we are on the way to doing bigger things.
And I hope we can sort of capitalize on that and do it in future for other issues. But just still on this Ebola topic, right? Because it's a pressing issue. We went through a lot of. It wasn't easy, people. Yeah, a lot of people died and were all affected. So we have to discuss it. So like the politics in terms of government, our system is so vulnerable to these things. We don't pray for another crisis or a disease or whatsoever. But what do you think can be done to improve ourselves? So before we finish this program, do you have any message for both the Liberian community and the African community?
Yes, the Liberian community, I would just want to extend my thanks and appreciation to the entire community for the sustained support that they have given me since I took over the leadership. After 4 years of four consecutive years of service to this community, my term comes to an end in February. And I do not wish to recontest the position of chairperson, but I am more than willing to support the community.
That's a good thing.
And I believe that there are other Liberians, other competent Liberians who would like to volunteer their service, will come with new ideas to push this community forward. And that is one thing I really want for every Liberian youth and even community member to have at the back of their mind, that this community shouldn't be a community for a handful of people.
Yes, for we all.
Let the community be everybody's business. Let us all contribute. It shouldn't only be that if one or two person is out of management, then the affairs of the community will collapse. I don't want to see the community in that direction. And I believe we can contribute in any way. You don't have to be community leader. You don't have to be an official or management before you contribute. You can contribute from somewhere. So that's my message. That the community remains our business. In the African community, yes, we are doing very well because I've seen relative stability over the years, and I want us to hold firm to that. I want us to unite. The African Community Council should do more by uniting all countries' leadership, all the communities, so that we can have that sense of unity and work together and prove to these people that we can govern ourselves.
But are you thinking of maybe pushing someone through, waving your support to someone, or to become the next leader?
Well, politics is a funny thing. If I told you that I do not have anybody that I would like to recommend, I would be lying to you. I've got more than 2-3 persons on management that I feel
capable,
can manage the affairs of this community extraordinarily. And I have contacted a few to step up. But equally so, I'm sending the invitation out there
to everyone.
Any Liberian, you think you have the ability to lead this community in a more positive direction, I encourage you to step forward. We work together. I'm ready to work with anybody. Once it gets to do with the Liberian community, not self-interest. So where somebody tries to seek personal glorification, then I will differ with you, and I will continue to tell you the truth.
That's cool. The community needs our support. So, community leadership can sometimes lead to politics. As a person. Is there an interest in politics, and considering the fact that we have just had few Africans who have entered the race to become representatives, to become to work on councils and stuff, and we haven't had sources. Like, what do you think we have to do?
Well, community leadership got politics. Let me tell you, there is no society where you would not have this petty politics. In fact, community politics is more complex.
Yeah.
But having a few Africans or individuals from the African community stepping up to councils or being independent candidates for parliament is something I'm happy for.
Okay.
And these people, my advice to them is to work within the ethics of wheresoever they're going to be, and work sincerely. So if you having to step up there and work sincerely, then you are paving the way for the youth. And because we are the very first generation, we need to make the record, or to set the record for our children. So having somebody going to carry on some dubious activity will make people afraid if the next African is coming up. So we need to do better.
We can always improve on what we are doing now, or the strategies we are putting in. We can improve on that. So on this note, we say thank you very much for being our first guest and being on this program. And from the team, we say goodbye. And this is Inside the African Community. Have a good night.